Enter the Fat Dragon is a 2020 comedy action movie starring Donnie Yen as Fallon Zhu. He is a sort of super cop with a fiancée of 10 years. She's like a low-level actress, and he's supposed to be getting his wedding photos in the film's opening. However, he ends up getting caught up in a vicious bank robbery and having to fight off some bank robbers and missing his appointment. So she breaks up with him for some reason, and it's very contrived. This movie's tone is right out the gate tells you what kind of movie it is. It's going for like a wacky, zany comedy, not an action movie with comedy elements. So immediately, for some reason, Fallon Zhu is also demoted to the archive room, and 6 months of just sitting at the desk doing evidence stuff and snacking on the vending machine has made him gain a lot of weight. So now he's fat. And honestly, the weight gain has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. That was probably the biggest thing that irked me the most, was Fallon Zhu as a character. You know, he's lost his fiancée, he's gained weight, he's hit rock bottom, but he can still fight in the movie. Whenever there's an action sequence where he needs to fight some yakuza thugs or whoever, he's very spry. He's like running up buildings, he's like doing all these crazy stunts. He's still like a formidable fighting force. So the weight, and he can still run as well. So they don't really mind the whole weight gain thing for any comedic worth, except for one joke where he falls through a building by accident one time. It was hilarious. But the movie doesn't really, it sort of ignores the fact that he's gained weight. So there's no point in having the fat suit at all. And there's even a scene in the movie where he's shot twice, and they don't reveal that he's got a bulletproof vest on. So, I mean, if he wasn't wearing a vest, that means he just got shot twice. He's fine because he's fat. I don't think the filmmakers realize that because you're a fat person does not protect you from bullets. So anyways, let's get on to the plot. After hitting rock bottom, Fallon's partner or friend gives him an assignment. If he can babysit a witness from Japan who witnessed something, he might be able to get back into the graces of the police force. Also, the people that are after that witness are violent yakuza thugs, and his ex-fiancee is working for them now, and she knows that they're gangsters. And it's a very contrived plot because, you know, he stumbles onto it sort of by accident. It would have been more natural for him to check up on his girlfriend and be worried about her working for the thugs. Instead, she knows that they're gangsters, so this movie does not portray her very well as a good character at all, because she's like a low-level actress who's very shallow, and she's willing to break up with him because he helps too many people out as a super cop, and willingly works with the yakuza gangsters. So she's not a very good portrayal for a female character, love interest. Also, the movie does a lot of weird, bad jokes about Japan people. Like, there's like a corrupt Japanese policeman, and just a lot of pot shots at Japanese culture that just wasn't that funny. You know, not every aspect of the film has to be that way. But another thing is that there's a lot of action, there's a lot of violence too. There's some pretty violent moments in this movie that just don't gel well with the tone. The tone is all over the place because they're going for like wacky, funny comedy, and then he's like, you know, roundhouse kicking people despite wearing a giant fat suit, and then he's running up buildings and doing like parkour on rooftops and things like that, even though he's supposed to weigh like 250 pounds. And, you know, the whole relationship with his girlfriend's pretty lame, and the plot kind of loses itself after the first 30 to 40 minutes. The movie just kind of runs out of story and just introduces some subplots and side characters, and there isn't much of a, you know, it's a one and done kind of movie. You know, you'll watch it because Donnie Yen is in it. In terms of direction, the direction is fine. Like, the action sequences are actually really competently well directed. There's just no need for him to be wearing the fat suit. There's no the literal weight gain has nothing to do with the plot. The only thing that it adds is you can call the movie Enter the Fat Dragon as a homage to Sammo Hung's excellent comedy film. I guess they wanted to homage that. They do have the nunchucks in there, but you could have called this movie literally just like anything else, and it would have been the same without the fat suit. You could have saved some budget there. So overall, Enter the Fat Dragon is, you know, barely entertaining. The first 30 minutes is great. I laughed quite a few times, but then the plot sort of loses itself as soon as they go to Japan. All the Japanese jokes don't really work very well. And Ending fight's okay. Logic gets thrown out the window a little bit in terms of, you know, his weight gain, but it's definitely a movie that I probably would not have watched if Donnie Yen was not in it. So, Enter the Fat Dragon, I gave it a 5 out of 10.